Welcome to the coolest stuff on the planet.
Hey, what's going on? It's good. Well, I can't see you. It's good to know that you're listening.
Even though we can't see your beautiful smiling faces.
It is a little strange because we're just in this room here. Tyler's out there recording us, and now somebody's listening to us. We're recording this on Tuesday. It's now Friday, and somebody's listening to this.
Wow,
that
weird.
Is strange.
It's like time travel.
We are time traveling with our voices.
Hey, that provides a nice segue. Thanks, Matt. Because speaking of time, this topic is very timely.
Like 2 weeks ago, it was timely.
Well, yeah, but close enough. Today, we're going to make a stop in a city that has been in the news a lot lately, Johannesburg, which many of you probably recognize unless you've been living, under a rock or
like
under
me.
a bridge, because it was one of the host cities for the World Cup soccer or football tournament.
Yeah, so in light of the fact that this city's been in the news lately, we thought it'd be fun to take a quick little snapshot of it and then put it into a podcast and then send it out to you.
With love.
Yes.
So I think this is an interesting one for me. I don't know about you, Matt, but yeah. I knew exactly zero, zilch, nada about this city. So it's always fun to take on a topic that you don't know anything about because you're surprised around every corner.
Absolutely.
So some surprising things about Johannesburg. Johannesburg is kind of a mouthful to say. It's a long name. So not surprisingly, it has a lot of little nicknames. And I'm just going to read some of these because they're fun. Joburg, Josie, Igoli, which means place of gold.
Oh. It's
also referred to as the City of Lights, JHB, and Joburg, which is interesting.
Okay. It may have more names, by the way, we're not even aware of. So if you know of any, just let us know. So, put on Facebook, by the way, I was hanging out in blank, and we'll just assume that it was Johannesburg. So, geographically speaking, now we're in the section where we're in Google Earth. So thank you, Lizzie. Let's take us on a journey. So we're in the central part of South Africa, and we're going to zoom way down to the Gauteng province, and there it is, Joburg.
Nice. Joburg, or Josie, makes its home on a sort of plateau region of central South Africa. It's called the High Veld, which is a kind of a grassland / savanna sort of ecosystem. And if you were ever a kid and you ever went to the zoo and you remember going through the African Veld, that's what it was all about. Something really surprising to me and delightful, Matt, about Johannesburg is that typically the sort of ecosystem you wouldn't find a lot of trees. You might find some shrubs, but not a lot of trees.
Yeah.
I was really surprised to discover that Johannesburg is a very green city.
Oh, yes, it is. It's got all kinds of trees everywhere. There are more than 6 million trees in Johannesburg and nearly 2,500 parks. And it's crazy. According to some of the sources on the internet we were looking at, including the city's official website that we were looking at, by the way, Joburg it's the largest urban man-made forest on the planet.
I think now the number is up to 10 million trees and growing.
It's crazy.
Today, Johannesburg is a bustling city of, the city population is more than 3 million people, but the metro area is much bigger. It's closer to 8 or 9 million. But originally it started out as farmland, and then it became a mining camp because in 1886, there was a little gold rush in the area. An Australian prospector stumbled upon this huge vein of gold, and everyone started flocking to Johannesburg, and that's pretty much how the city was established, because of gold.
Gold and mineral mining have been a huge part of Joburg's economy since that time in 1886, and actually this city, it contributes a huge portion of South Africa's wealth to the GDP of South Africa overall.
It's like the kind of the financial commercial hub of South Africa. So Johannesburg played a big part in the apartheid struggle, which took place in South Africa from, I think it was implemented in 1948, and then it was dismantled in 1994. So there's a lot of history in Johannesburg.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to learn more about that stuff, you can visit the Apartheid Museum and Constitution Hill, and you can also go to the place where Nelson Mandela he used to live in Johannesburg, which are really cool places. If you're going to be in town, you should definitely go there.
Yeah, Johannesburg is an interesting city. Like, we both encourage you to read more about it. So Johannesburg and the surrounding region is famous for a lot of things: gold, the World Cup, all sorts of things. But a much older thing that it's famous for is for ancient human or hominid remains. So there's a place that's, I think is about an hour from Johannesburg, and it's called the Cradle of Humankind. Or, I can't pronounce the other thing, but it's the
Sterkfontein?
The Sterkfontein caves. Yeah. We're not going to get into that, although it would make for an interesting podcast later.
Oh, yeah.
But we encourage you to check that out because it looks pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah. Well, guys, that's it again. This was another version, another little injection of coolest stuff on the planet for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're jonesing for next week's by the time next Friday comes around. But if you want to find more about Johannesburg, you can go to our website. There's some fun stuff on there. And
if you're from Johannesburg, Joburg, Josie, and you have any cool stories for us, or we left something out, or there's something you want to tell us about your city, you can always email us at travelpodcast@howstuffworks.com.
Oh, by the way, speaking of cool story suggestions, we got some human mail, I think.
Human mail. This email comes from Yoon, and I like his email prefix. It says Yoon the Great.
Oh, yes.
So this is from Yoon the Great, and he says, "Hey, Matt and Rachel," and he misspelled my name, but that's okay, Yoon. I still like you. What's up? I'm Yoon from Hudson, Ohio. I came to the United States 5 years ago from Xining, China. Xining is in the Qinghai Tibet Plateau, in the middle of mountains and mountains. After seeing the Masada podcast, I thought about my home country and thought that it would be interesting that you guys would do a podcast on Tibet, or the Himalayan mountains, or the Taklamakan Desert. Love the podcast and stuff they don't want you to know. Oh, which is a double compliment because
I don't know what he's talking about.
Works on that podcast.
What are you talking about, Yoon?
Don't tell anyone.
Not me.
It's a secret.
It's not me.
So he said, "Keep it going, Yoon."
Nice. That was great.
Thanks for that, Yoon. And we will definitely add those places to our list. And
we have a really long list.
We do. We like to go to all the places we possibly can on the entire planet. So
that's right. And we will. So, ladies and gentlemen,
we bid you good day.
Goodbye.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit howstuffworks.com and let us know what you think. Email travelpodcast@howstuffworks.com. Don't forget to check out our other podcasts, free on iTunes.